I mean, I'm not sure I'm going back to Kenya anytime soon, because as I promised you early this morning, I'll be coming back to the same spot we had Tingana. There he is. I got a feeling he's coming to have had a drink somewhere. Look at how majestic that boy is. Surely, why should I go back to East Africa? This is not common. We rarely have sightings like this in Kenya. Look at the size of that boy. And he just rests there, and I think most likely he must have come from a drink. And what we'll do, we are going to reposition ourselves. But VM, can you just have a quick look on the keel up there and see? And if you remember what we saw early this morning, truly he has devoured more of the meat from this carcass, and I think what is left now could be about, I would say 30% is what's left now. Those two hind legs were hooked differently before, so most likely when we left and went back to the camp for breakfast, he must have gone up and eaten a few pounds of this ram impala. And you can see he must have started with the front legs, the internal organs. Now what's remaining now is what I would call the fillet steak. Very good job there, VM. Well done. And still see the head very well covered by those leaves just to keep it fresh. But chances are what would happen is, if that little connection of the front part of the body and the hind legs gets cut off, that piece may have to come down. I'm sure we saw how Tandy had lost one piece of her keel yesterday, and that one there might also do the same. I want to reposition a little bit forward and see if we may have a better view of this good-looking Tingana. Now I think we have the best view ever. Well done. And look at that leopard there. Tingana himself. See the size of the dewlap. Exactly, Gust. Is beautiful, good looking. And again, I'm not sure I'm saying the right thing, but being tempted maybe to move here now and get some of my remaining clothes in Kenya to be flown here, and I make a second home here. I'd be happy to be glued watching this boy here for the next hour or two. Arizona, you'd like to know if there are more leopards in Kenya than Sambisards. I do not know how to answer you that question, but I can tell you maybe there are more in Kenya than here, or there are more here than there. But from what I have gathered and found out, it's a lot easier to see leopards here than in Kenya. The tracking here makes the whole difference. And I cannot say that for a fact, where between the two places has more leopards than the other. But in Kenya, we don't track, we don't come out of the vehicles, so it makes it very difficult for us to spot leopards. And here also, the soil chemistry is different than what we have in Kenya. We have lots of sand here, which makes it very, very easy. Even if you're in a car, you can easily pick up a truck. In Kenya, it's clay or black cotton soil, and unless you're very lucky, even if a cat steps on it, it will be very difficult to tell or to give you any clue that a cat could be around. Arizona, that helps to answer your question. Huge dewlap he got, and I think in general most males will have huge dewlaps, and this particular one, to me, either because it's new to me, the dewlap is massive. You can see the panting there, very good. VM. And you notice the teeth are a bit yellowy or yellowish in color, and that's a sign of age. And I gathered from one viewer by the name of Puma that this leopard is 12 years old. That I didn't know, but the viewer gave me the age and said he's 12 years old. I would say for a 12-year-old leopard, he is looking pretty good. Gasti, yes, we did the Swahili word for leopard. Yes, I can't remember very well. Anytime I see leopard, I get excited and I cannot think straight. But either way, we'll do it again. The Swahili word for the leopard is chui, C-H-U-I. And I've been told you count those spots. So how many spots does this one have? Excellent. VM, we count the top ones. So this what? What's that?
Top whisker line.
So are we talking about what? 3 here or 4?
4.
4. Very good. I have
The other side as well.
4.
I don't know the other side.
Okay. I'm just getting clues and some lessons here of my friend VM on how to tell the spots. And that way they'll always tell which leopard from which one by counting those spots. They're right above the whiskers on the top spots there. So you said what you can see now is 4, and maybe the other side is 4, I'm not very sure. But I know for a fact there's a viewer who told me Tralamba is 5'5". That was very exciting. Look at the size, or look at the size of that small little cab there. For a 12-year-old leopard, as I was saying before, I think he looks very good. With a lifespan of about 14, max, sometimes 15 years. We'll see how many more years he has to go. But I think for a 12-year-old, if that's the age, he is looking in good shape. And still at that age, to be able to bring down an impala is something very, very nice for him at that age. Leopards will also eat guinea fowls. Yeah, leopards will eat anything, will eat any type of protein, including the guinea hens. And you'd see how stealthy they are when they sneak very, very quietly on guinea hens, and they just give them a small little slap, or they just pounce on them. And when they don't get the big game like the impala we have on top of this tree, guinea hen is always a choice. They'll also even go to smaller little protein insect arthropods, for example, even beetles. You'll see sometimes leopards scavenging or going through some elephant poo, and they'll be looking for beetles to feed on. Any protein for leopard works well. Reptiles, skinks, lizards. It depends on the day, where they are, what they're looking for, how they're feeling. But every time I see the eyes of this leopard, I get excited. Minamu, how are you today? And you'd like to know what's the heaviest animal a leopard can take up a tree? Generally, leopards, especially a big male like this one here, Tingana, could be anything 60, 70 kilos. And that could be like what, about 150 pounds or so. They will seldom hunt for prey that is that size or bigger than them. But the biggest or the largest prey I ever saw a leopard take or drag up a tree was an antelope called topi. T-O-P-I, topi, and a topi is almost double the weight of a leopard. You would imagine, I'm talking about 250 or so, almost, 280, almost 300 pounds. And it dragged it up a tree, and topis are very, very similar to the sesibes that we have here in South Africa. We don't have the topis here, but we have the topis in East Africa. And to me, that is one of the largest animal I saw, or one antelope I saw, a leopard take up a tree. Tingana, what do you want to do now? Look at the size of that guy. I would say absolutely, I agree with you. They have even taken up, I agree with you, they are in casting final control. They have even taken up baby wildebeest up a tree, and it's not mean achievement. And even baby buffaloes, I've seen them take up baby buffaloes up a tree. All right, Tingana, where are you going? Make sure you don't come close to David, please. Do whatever you want to do. Sorry about that, but you can see how close he is to the camera. Good job, VM. What do you think, VM? Do you think you're going to go up the tree? Let's find out. Oh, he's going for a drink. He's not in the other direction now. Let's find out what he wants to do. Or he's just changing his bed to another spot. He's doing a bit of urine marking there as usual. I don't know if they can hear the scratch with the clothes there on the ground. There's a definite urine marking, very typical of leopards. Look at the rosettes on that beautiful boy there. Good job. Do you want urine mark again? Where are you off to, Tingana? Remember, your food is right here. You don't need to go very far. Just changing position. He is composed, and knowing the kill is up on the tree there, he is not worried a minute. VM, do you want us to reposition? And yeah, excuse me, Fox will try and reposition and find out. Well, I'm sure Taylor is very jealous of me when she's doing tracks and I have the actual predator with me right here and giving us the best view ever I would want for myself to see over leopard. Having eaten, I think, 2 portions, and as I said earlier, chances are this remaining part of the kill might take him up to tomorrow, and he could still be here tomorrow morning. Who knows? And maybe at night when everybody has gone to bed is when he'll go back to the tree and start feeding. Look at those eyes. Minamu, you'd like to know, do leopards or other animals lose their teeth when they get old? I would say yes, just like human beings, but for animals it's a bit rare because what they eat, unlike us, they do not get as much sugar like human beings. And I don't remember any one animal I saw missing teeth. 1 or 2 could be missing, and Minamu, if they're predators, maybe from a fight in general, what I've noticed more is the teeth changing color and becoming yellowish as they age. Many times when you've seen carcasses or dead lions or dead leopards out in the bush and we open their mouth, the teeth are always intact and complete. He's out for a walk again, either maybe to urine mark, go for a drink. Very majestic. There he walks, right in front of us. I'm not sure where he's up to. And Tingana, you can rest assured, I'll be following you slowly, but surely and quietly. I want to know where you're going and I want to know what you're doing. So I don't want to lose your sight. So let me just sneak on him very slowly and very quietly, because we're getting excited together by this. Okay, follow him slowly, give him his space, stop, and see what happens. That's what I would say. Hoo la la. And this could also help me in learning the tracks of leopards. I agree with all of you that yes, this check. And how exciting is this, especially for a person who is coming from East Africa. David coming all the way from Kenya. I'm following him and I'm following him until he'll give us a final goodbye. We still have good light, and when things will get a bit darker, I'm sure we might go to infrared much later, but not for now. We still got good light for him. Remember to keep us engaged with your questions on Twitter on hashtag Safari Live. And you see him again, sorry. My apologies, VM there. As usual, marking territory. Urine marking. It's very typical of leopards. This could be a bigger marking of territory than what I thought before. Maybe not urine. Maybe a poop, which should also amount to the same. And most of these predators will do this to avoid conflict with other males. Hosanna is another chief around this area. Okay, let's get closer to him again. We don't want to lose his sight. Liam, do you think he might have just urine marks there, or he did a poop there? Can you see anything? Okay, let's see. He's to the right there now. And see if we can get any small opening for us to go through the thickets. See him there, VM? Alright, we're going to make our way and follow him there. And Raf is on the road also trying to look for good news for all of us. Right, we have followed Tingana very quietly, and I'm not sure he is showing signs of looking for food, because he has been looking in that direction for about 4 minutes now, and we can't tell what he's seeing. Sometimes these cats will see things that, we human beings will take a long time to locate, and we just see what they're looking at once there's a movement, or if he is thinking of going to bring someone else down for dinner or for breakfast for tomorrow morning. That's the only time we are able to tell what he's looking at. But he has concentrated in that particular angle and direction for quite some time now. As you can see, his saliva coming out of his mouth. They are all from the meals he has been having, and still doing a lot of scent marking. Him digging the ground there. And try to imagine who would ever see or know there's a leopard there if you had not had it before, eh? Good boy, you want to go up that Taman Mound? Occasionally they have used Taman Mounds like that either as vantage points to see who they might want to hunt, or sometimes if they are small little animals there, like the piggies, the watchhogs, they might poke them out, or when they're coming out, they'll bring them down and eat them and, just hunt them. Glenn, you think he can smell the scent of another male leopard there? That could be a concern that he has. Because what I'm seeing, I'm not seeing any stalking mode in him, but he's looking, smelling, and looking around. I think you're right. He could be smelling maybe Hosanna. But I think he's much more senior than Hosanna. Tingana, you need to tell us exactly what you're doing and what you want to do, or what you're thinking. What a view there, eh? Maybe he's just thinking about his kill and nobody goes there. Leopards have been known sometimes to steal from each other, eh? More males stealing from females than vice versa. how beautiful seeing it through the yellow grass there. And he blends in also very, very well. Paula, you're asking how far can leopards smell? And Paula, I'm not sure I would give you a very good answer or clear answer for that. Not for a fact, but I would guess anything 100, 200 meters, but that's sheer guess from what I think of my life in the bush. But I do not know for a fact, but I'll be able to also find out from my colleagues and maybe give you a more accurate answer of how far, Paula, leopards can smell. You'll forgive me for that, excuse me. Yeah, he continues to urine mark there and then goes down. And I think now he's feeling much comfortable. If he was picking any smell or scent of another male around, I think his only competitor could be Hosanna. I don't know which other male VM could be. There's another one called Quarantine, I just gathered. There's another male called Quarantine, so maybe VM tells me Quarantine could be more of a concern to him than Hosanna. But to me, I think this guy is quite robust and he would deal with any other male. What about Hukumuri? Yeah?
On the other side.
Yeah, well, Hukumuri is on the other side, so that works well for him. So the direction he is looking at is where the kill is, or where the tree, the marula tree that has the impala on. But he still looks at something. I cannot know what he's looking at, and quite a distance. I can't see anything myself. It's getting a bit dark here. Are you on IR yet? Yeah. So it's a bit dark for me to see, but what you can tell there, he is definitely focused on something. And yeah, well done, VM, very good. Thank you, Casti. And look at the same cat now. Very good on IR. Look at him as he looks in his territory and in this area where he thinks he is the king and not worried of any other predator that would match him up. And I was saying in the morning, leopards are quite bold and very versatile. For cats of his size and low or below him, for example, cheetahs, they tend to do better than all those other cats. They survive better. They thrive well. They get better food on their own than all the other cats of the size of leopards and below. And they're very stealthy when they go looking for food. I was talking earlier this morning how the village they come from, they would come at night and just sneak through the hedge or the fences we would make using branches, using some thorn trees. And in one night, they would comfortably kill about 100 goats and sheep in one night. Just eat one and just strangle one after the other, and then the following morning they leave. And like, yes, I was around, we'll see you again. And the whole village, would go in sadness because we didn't know what we could do with about 100 goats overnight. I mean, in one day, And that normally would happen in areas where the prey or the natural prey of leopards have been, wiped out, and again pointing fingers to man. Some areas in the world, like in the Southeast Asia, they have been known to go for man for survival, and they've turned out to be, man-eaters. In the country I come from, called Kenya, way back when they were building, some Europeans were building a railroad from the east of the country to the west of the country towards a country called Uganda. They ended up with having lions that were eating the constructors or the builders of the railroad, and were called the man-eaters lions. So this, I would think, leopards in Southeast Asia could be called the man-eaters leopards. No one case of that has been documented in Africa yet. Guru, you'd like to know if leopards will salivate and drool if they smell lion. I would say yes. I mean, they are competitors by any standard when you think of it, and nobody likes the other. And they have gone for each other once in a while. Yes, that would happen. And the reason is, like, either of the cat or either the predator wanting to keep that territory and not the other. Look at those eyes. I really don't know what he is looking at. And every time I turn and look at the same direction he's looking at, because now he's almost, I would say, a little bit above us by what, 4 inches, 6 inches from my eye level? But there's certainly something he can see that I cannot see. Neither VM can see it. We can hear all the francolins in the background, and it's time for them to go to bed and maybe leave this king here doing what he knows better at night. Taylor got some update for us. Well, hopefully Shidulu will show up, and then we can say or celebrate and say we had a male leopard and a female leopard today. And Tingana is making a move. I do not know where he wants to go. He looks still very full, but again, even when they are full like this, they've been known to go for hard. It's the best. They're feeling strong and energetic, and they might want, when I'm still feeling good shape, why don't I, sorry about that, Paul, there, why don't I go for something else? He goes quietly in the bush. I think we'll try to follow him. Sorry about the area there on your way. And find out what he wants to do. So let me reposition slowly and surely and see where he might lead us into. Liam, do you want me back up? Yeah. Did he go this way? Sorry. We can't see exactly what he's doing, but I think he's feeding on something, eh? What it is, when he caught it, we have no idea. He's definitely eating something, eh? Oh yeah, he's eating something here. Do you change the position? Do we back up and go that direction? Yeah, he's either killing it, but he's definitely eating something, eh? Tingana, you're going to surprise me if you had a whole huge male impala with yourself, and now what are you up to? What did you just catch there? We need to know for a fact what he's eating, but he's definitely eating and devouring something. VM, do you want to change the position? What's that?
I don't think it's a better position.
Is this the best you got?
Just behind us.
What about you go forward and go round that bush?
You can try the bush.
Let's see if... Or go ahead first where you can see better. Hang on, folks, and see whether you can get a different position. That's tough. 1 minute. And he's definitely feeding on something. We really want to find out what he's feeding on here. He stops there, looks, listen to all the birds chirping and making noise, birds that can see him. We're making a big loop. He's definitely tearing something apart there. Hopefully going to lift part of it up for us to see, eh? It must be huge, and we didn't see him latch on anything or run. He was just walking. Either he caught something that he didn't expect it, and you know how still leopards are, eh? You can hear it crushing it. Don't you think if you make a round like that, it might help a little bit? A loop. Yeah, we got surrounded by lots of stumps here and big holes. And let's hear what update Taylor has. Well, Tingana has shocked me by his prowess of killing and hunting something. We are yet to identify what he's munching. We can only hear him. Let's see whether we can hear him. Can I hear that? You see him there? And we are yet to identify what the prey is. How he got it, it was unbelievable. He was just on the termite mound, and he just walked away from us 10 meters, and pop, there he was. We just saw him shearing and pulling something apart. We are yet to identify what this is. This is so epic. We're guessing, but it didn't run. There was no chase.
Yeah.
And very funny, he must have got it when it would not, at least expected to be gotten by a predator. A warthog could be a good guess. I agree with you, Casti. It could be a warthog, maybe. We can just now hear him, breaking the bones. Sorry, there's a bit of noise from another car. Yeah. This is insane, eh? We saw a kill there earlier, but now just seeing Tingana just bring down someone out of the blues is something I least expected, rather. You can see all the red there, as much as infrared. So we got some cars, friends of ours, not very far from Tingana there. This is insane, eh? Unbelievable. He did not show any sign, and exactly what I was saying before, sometimes leopards will see things, or these predators will see things a human eye will not easily pick. We kept looking at VM. The leopard got two eyes, mine, which I think are very good, VM's, which I think are better than mine, but we couldn't see anything, but you could tell he was looking at something, and most likely that's the something he was looking at. See the whiskers there as they keep moving in, up and down. Sorry, I lost you there. Yes, so if you can see some horns there, then this could be another impala then. VM, do you think so? Then this could be another impala. But surely from where? All right. We got a feathered friend with Taylor now. And I think it's an impala. How he got this impala, I do not know, for heaven's sake. Tingana you're trying to show me how great you are in getting your prey and getting your food, eh? You just had the impala on the other marula tree there, and now you have the impala, another impala here on the floor. Look at him tearing it apart, eh? He's a hungry boy, and from what he had eaten before, he can't stop eating. Isn't this epic? I mean, this is insane for me, eh? Unbelievable. Debbie, you're thinking he might have stolen the kill from someone else, and maybe that I would say 150% comment. I would want to agree with you, Debbie, because from where we were, we never saw any chase. He did not stalk. The only thing we saw is him having food on the table, and he started eating, and there was no chase. An impala, and especially a male, is a pretty big antelope, which you could easily spot from where we were, and not me, not VM, saw any sign of a living animal from where we were. And I think most likely what Tingana has done here could have stolen this kill from another leopard. And do you remember earlier I was talking about the leopards will always do that? And yes, all the viewers, I agree with you. That's chances what he has done. And there could be a female leopard around here which might have, killed this impala, and he is just taking advantage of that. You remember earlier I was talking about how leopards steal other, leopards kill. It's more males that do that than the females. And Tingana, being as big as he is and as bold I would think he is from what I've seen the last 2 days, he is capable of doing that. And this surely was not his kill. I mean, this is epic for me to have seen what Tingana might have brought down for himself, and again now to see him eating someone he has killed. And what a day, honestly, leopard having a kill on top of a tree. And maybe for now I'll tell Tingana bon appetit, and we want to thank you, everyone, all the viewers, for having joined us. And remember, tomorrow morning, 6:30 Central African Time, will be out here. And from all of us, thank you again, and goodbye, and have a great one.